got a bunch of his insane little scum running the world in a country near you. Little pieces of arrogant, selfish jerks. They could care less about you. All we are plantation workers of Slavelandia. 3 companies, Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, own 88% of the S&P 500. The billionaires own everything. When I was a young man, there were things called stationery stores, hardware stores, drug stores, grocery stores. No more. The chains. The chains. And you work for them, it's better than the plantation system, because back then, you had to house them and feed them. Now you just give them enough money. Yeah, get the hell out of here and come back tomorrow. I don't care if you live in your car, you live in a hole. Oh, I only got 3 jobs now because I got no money from the other ones. As inflation skyrockets, and the number you said about the debt in America, it's over 300 trillion when you put all that, the Social Security and everything else. Over 300 trillion, going up $1 trillion every 100 days. This isn't rocket science. The only reason the dollar is strong is because interest rates are high. The more they lower interest rates, the deeper the dollar falls. The deeper the dollar falls, the higher gold prices go up. End of story. We could see gold this year even hitting $3,000 an ounce. And we see it going much higher. It's just the beginning. And again, the world has had enough of the United States geopolitical and economic hegemony. They've had it. They don't want it. Look at the BRICS. Look at every day. More countries joining the BRICS. More countries joining the BRICS. If they come out with a BRIC currency backed by gold, whoop, bye-bye buck. Gone. Gone. The United States became the nation that our founding fathers fought against. Great Britain. The sun never sets on the British Empire. We slaughter people all over the world and do what we want. And they went bust because they kept having wars. The pound died after the World War I because the British destroyed their country with all these wars. America's done the same exact thing.
In the midst of rising global tension, Gerald Celente warns that World War III has already begun, with 3 corporations, Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street, controlling 88% of the S&P 500. We're living in a modern-day economic plantation. As inflation skyrockets and the US debt surges past $300 trillion, nations like those in BRICS are turning away from US dominance. Celente says if BRICS launches a gold-backed currency, it could send the dollar into free fall, triggering a global financial meltdown and pushing gold prices to $3,000 an ounce. America, once the global superpower, is now facing the consequences of endless wars and financial mismanagement, just like Britain after World War I. The warning signs are everywhere: protests, political instability, and collapsing infrastructure. Celente emphasizes that World War III isn't just a geopolitical battle, but an economic war that could reshape the future of global power.
Once upon a time, there was a guy by the name of Dwight D. Eisenhower, 5-star general, Supreme Commander of the Allied Forces in World War II, and 2-term president, warns the American people that the military-industrial complex is robbing the nation of the genius of the scientists, sweat of the laborers, and the future of the children. America's rotted to crap. Look at the rail system, crap. Third world rail. Take a subway in New York. It's a night in Calcutta. Bridges are rotten. The roads bumped. Homeless everywhere. It's gone because scum are running the country. And by the way, just briefly, I began my career working on major political campaigns in Westchester County back in 1971, the richest county in America. They sent me up to Albany. I was the assistant to the secretary of the New York State Senate. I designed and instructed a course called American Politics and Campaign Technology, how to run political campaigns, and I taught it at St. John's University. In the 1970s, I was the chief government affairs specialist for the chemical industry. I was killing environmental legislation in Washington, D.C. at the height of the environmental movement. I was on the other side. And I started to grow up when I reached about 32. And that's when I quit and my whole mind changed. But I wouldn't know what I know if I wasn't on the other side. And I was deep in the other side. I have a picture of me picking up Ronald Reagan at the Chicago Hilton in 1976. I'm 30 years old. And putting on a brunch for 16-hour board of directors 2 days before he's announcing he's running against Gerald Ford for the Republican nomination. I've been with presidents, prime ministers, and princes. It's a freak show. Gutless, arrogant little boys. If you call them out man to man, don't give me your crap. Oh, don't talk to me like that. You little bastard. You call these guys out, they wouldn't know whether to piss or shit. They are the lowest pieces of scum, and they're telling everybody what to do. Oh, they're cowards. Again, I was there, you know. Again, I'm a Napolitano born in the Bronx. I mean, it's a different trip, man. Oh, we don't like you. Get the fuck out of here. I'm giving you the proper language and you're trying to screw with me. Oh, don't talk like that. It's a different vibe, man. And I grew up right after World War II. America's at the height. It's at the height, man. You're free to be you. Don't tell me who to be. It was great. By the way, this is one of my favorite books. It's called What Zitzi Gave Honey Boy. Zitzi is the Neapolitan dialect for auntie. Zia is aunt. Zitzi is your auntie. And talking about the Irish, they teach you in the Catholic Church that you could receive communion at 7 years old because you reached the age of reason so you could get the body and blood of Christ, right? That's the story of it. I reached the age of reason. Could you see that?
Yeah.
That's me and Teresa McKelvey. We used to kiss in religious instructions. She's a head taller than me, never knew it. We were in love. So I fell in love with the Irish girls at a young age. I love the Irish people. They had that free spirit, you know, of, I've been to Ireland a number of times. But again, it's a different world. And I'm heartbroken to see the decline of society and how people aren't fighting back against these little cowards, because World War III has begun. And if we don't stop it, it's going to be mass annihilation. They're deranged, evil people. Look at this guy, Netanyahu. Could you get more evil than him?
Ooh, that's pretty bad. Yeah.
Look at him. Look at the slaughter of the Gazans. But every day in American news, Western news, 6 hostages killed. Oh, 6 hostages? How about the over 40,000, according to Lancet, about 185,000 Palestinians will die. Oh, but 6 hostages died. That's news. Day after day after day after day. There's slaughter going on. Here, one of my sayings is, when all else fails, they take you to war. Yeah. People have no idea that there were 39 weeks of protests going on in Israel prior to Hamas's attack on October 7th. Because of Netanyahu's Judicial Reform Act that would have prevented him from being brought up on charges and probably go to jail. 39 weeks. The president of Israel, Netanyahu's the prime minister, Isaac Herzog, before COVID, before Hamas, said Israel is in a civil war. They were in a civil war. But Hamas happens, all forgot. Week after week in the magazine, the Trends Journal, the United States kept coming out with this BS that there was going to be a peace agreement, a ceasefire. And they kept blaming Hamas, the Western media. No, now all the data, again, from Haaretz, Israeli newspaper, Netanyahu kept changing the deal as soon as they agreed to. He wants to keep the wars going. There's a thing called the Samson option, S-A-M-S-O-N. Do you know what it is? This is a country of 9 million people, of which, 20% are Arabs. Iran, 91 million. Who's going to beat who? When I say when all else fails, they take you to war,
Now that you understand what's really happening with World War III and the global financial shift, you're going to want to know what comes next. The next video dives deeper into how these events could impact your financial future and the global economy. Make sure you don't miss it. Click here and stay ahead of the curve.